Start all. YouTube and Twitter are live. YouTube and Twitter are live. Yes, good. YouTube is also live. Good. Okay. Now I click on this. I always forget to do this. I'm still trying to get used to it. I have to test to make sure it's back here. Oh wait, of course it's streaming. I'm gonna do it. And then YouTube. And then poop out. Chat. All right, so now that all the chats are popped out, I should be able to ping all of my chats. Testing all chats. I got YouTube, I got Twitter, and I got Twitch. Good. Is Elon giving the ISS a ride? I got news. Stand by. I got lots of different news. Actually, there's lots of different kind of news. Like I said, some of it's good news, some of it's bad, some of it's whatever. Robo, what's up? Zip. You hear nudes? Nudes. No. So, some of it's video game news, and some of it is not. Okay. Some of it's kind of, you know, video game and then not video game. Just so we're clear. Very pissed off. You got special to buy 7 pairs of briefs and got 10 free pay. Wait, what? What's up, Robo? I see you on YouTube. Thanks, brother. So special 7 pairs of briefs. You got 10 free paid, $250. It's been sitting delayed for dispatch warehouse somewhere for over a week. Bro, let's just rewind this for a second. You paid $250 for briefs. Bro, that's very expensive. They come with the brown stain already applied. Okay, that now makes sense. Okay, that checks out. That checks out. Scratch and sniff. It's the scratch and sniff models. That checks out. So go on, you missed it, bro. He just said he paid $250 for 7 pairs of briefs, bro. Okay. Like, what? So there's some crazy shit happening in on the ISS right now. All right, let me just so you guys can see it off the bat. Okay. So number 1, if it wasn't bad enough that our 2 astronauts that we witnessed take off, okay? Sonny and Butch are still stuck up there because Starliner is made of paper, apparently paper mache. The fucking spacesuits are malfunctioning. 2 U.S. astronauts abandoned plans to exit the space station to do their standard, their weekly spacewalk to check the ISS. Right. The leak, which affected the suit donned by NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson, this is not one of the Butch and Sonny. This is one of the ones that were already up there doing a long-term mission. Um, sprang sprang up just after the suits were transferred to battery power before they exited the space station. Good fucking thing they found it. The cooling unit on the spacesuits are designed to keep the wearers at comfortable temperatures while carrying out their work, and Dyson and her crewmate Mike Barrett were set to remove a faulty electronics box from the communications antenna on the space station's exterior. So they were actually going out there to do something. Right now, I'm comfortable, but I do feel a little warm, Dyson was heard saying on a live stream of the event after the spacewalk was called off around 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Dyson later expressed concern that the water leak may have affected electrical connectors. There's still water shooting out, Dyson said at one point. We can assume that water got into that connector, electrical connector. NASA then worked to get Dyson back inside the space station from the airlock, the gateway to the space station's exterior, while her suit remained on battery power. The crew was not in danger at any point during the incident, according to NASA. The spacewalk was set to kick off Monday morning, last about 6.5 hours. About standard. The delayed spacewalk is only the latest in a string of setbacks around the operations of the International Space Station. Now, mind you that these spacesuits are like 40 years old. Not the suits like individually it's 40 years old, but the design is 40 years old. Okay? The design is 40 years old. Which to me is crazy, okay? 40 years old. All right. Now, one of the issues that we're still having here as well is that Butch and Sonny are still stuck on this fucking thing. Okay. So, Boeing's public relations crisis is now out of this world. The company's Starliner spacecraft with 2 astronauts on board are currently stuck in space. After what started as an 8-day mission, U.S. astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore have now spent the better part of a month on the International Space Station as the engineers work out the problems with Starliner. It remains unclear when exactly the astronauts will be able to make their return to Earth. A Boeing spokesperson said they have adjusted the return of the Starliner crew flight test until after 2 planned spacewalks on the Monday the 24th and Tuesday, July 2nd, and that they currently do not have a date for the return and will evaluate opportunities after the spacewalks. The spokesperson also noted the crew is not pressed for time to leave the space station since there are plenty of supplies in orbit. This is true. And the station's schedule is relatively open throughout mid-August. This is also true. So they could stay there for quite some time, frankly. And to be fair, it wouldn't be unreasonable for it wouldn't be unfair or unreasonable for them to wait for Elon Musk to send up a different ship, an unmanned ship, to send everybody back home. Look, at this point, I'm uncomfortable walking into anything Boeing. Period. End of fucking story. End of story. Done and done. Okay? You had your launch scrubbed twice, and now you've had your return home scrubbed 3 fucking times. Like, bro. The Starliner blasted into space on the 5th of June from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station after 2 previously unsuccessful launches on May 6th and June 1st, respectively. A year behind schedule and $1.5 billion over budget. That's billion with a B. This particular NASA Boeing mission had problems long before its official launch, including issues with reaction control thrusters and helium leaks. The Boeing spokesperson noticed that the helium leaks and most of the thrusters problems are all stable and not a concern for return mission. Checks out. That was wrong. 4 out of the 5 thrusters that were previously shutting down are now operating normally. This means that only 1 thruster out of 27 is currently offline. This does not present an issue for the return mission. NASA and Boeing officials insist that the astronauts are not stranded and the technical difficulties do not threaten the mission. NASA said the spacecraft requires 7 hours of free flight time to perform a normal end of mission, and it currently has enough helium left in its tank to support 70 hours of free flight activity following docking. Now, that is true. Steve Stitch, NASA's commercial crew program manager, basically the guy who's in charge of talking to the people, the regular people. We are taking our time and following our standard mission management team process. We are letting the data drive our decision making relative to managing the small helium system leaks and the thruster's performance we are observing during rendezvous and docking. The spacecraft is cleared to undock and return to Earth if there is an emergency or need a quick departure. While Starliner is docked, all the manifolds are closed per normal mission operating, preventing helium loss from the tanks. The Starliner is not safely operational. It's possible that Williams and Wilmore, Butch and Sonny, will have to catch a ride with the crew on the SpaceX Dragon, which of course is SpaceX's Elon Musk's spacecraft, which is also currently attached to the International Space Station on the opposite side. Boeing's latest crisis comes on the heels of other public crisis they've had with various commercial aircraft, though the company insists they operate separately. This is true. They're not like just insisting. This is true. There is a Boeing space program, and then there's a Boeing gonna crash your airplane program. Okay, those are 2 different things, okay? The Starliner launch is only the 6th inaugural journey of a crewed spacecraft in U.S. history. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson said that in a May news conference, it started with Mercury, then Gemini, and then with Apollo, the space shuttle, and then Dragon, SpaceX's Dragon, and now Starliner. Starliner's not doing so hot, bro. Okay, Boeing's not doing so hot. You know my opinion on modern engineers. Well, these engineers are probably not the modern ones. These are probably the ones. Nah, I don't know, actually. There's a reason trains are derailing, planes are losing parts, and bridges are falling apart. Yeah. Well, because the government's funding it. Everything that you just named, trains, planes, and bridges, all those things are controlled by the government sector funding. What about Virgin with their plane that will fly out to space and come down to the other end planet? And how's that going? I think I think Virgin is doing just fine. It's basically they're not really in like space per se. They're just way higher than a normal plane. I think they still sell a lot of they sell a lot of their commercials things. They sell a lot of their commercial craft. Not sell their craft, but they sell a lot of connections. But from what I know, this is like a whole thing. Space flight, community membership, 5-day readiness program, all-inclusive accommodations, 3 guests, custom spacesuit and wings, photo and video kit, community mobile app. But it's like really expensive. So basically, you climb to 30,000 feet, and then let's see, and then you get boosted, and then that's when you get to apogee, which is microgravity. The highest you get is microgravity. You don't actually leave atmosphere, which is almost 300,000 feet, which is very high. And you stay up there for some time, and then you re-entry, and then you glide, re-entry, and then you land. So it's not actually like you're going to space. It's just you're like on the outermost outer part of the atmosphere. But I mean, it is dark. It does look like space. You know, I will tell you that it does look like space. A lot of problems come down to work culture of the U.S. If you say anything state warnings, you get fired. Well, I think the problem that we have is that the government wants to have their hands in like a trillion things, right? They want to have like their hands in control. They're like, oh, we need to have the final say in how trains move across the United States. Okay. We want to have the final say on how planes move across the United States. Okay. We want to have the final say on what the bridges and the roads are doing in the United States. Okay. All of these things that are infrastructure are all based off of government funding. And I I don't know if you guys have ever seen the differences between government funding and private funding, right? But public and private are almost always mutually opposite. It's usually less expensive and more quality work when it's private, and it's usually more expensive and less quality work when it's public. There's many instances of this. I think I went over this some time ago, but um, there was a very famous instance of a very 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 big public park, and there's two public parks. One public park was privately funded and constructed, and one was publicly funded and publicly built, publicly constructed. Um, the Let me just give you the example. So apparently, there's an article here from the city about how pricey park bathrooms put pressure on taxpayers. The average New York City Park Department bathroom has nearly tripled to 3.6 million. Now one is slated to run 6 million. This is for public bathrooms for $6 million. This bike rack is $6,000. Yes, this wavy piece of steel is now $6,000. Okay. This is in New York City. And you're probably like, how is that possible? Well, because it's government funding, right? Um, Here's another article. Mayor Adams get stuff done regime. We can't build 5 public toilets for less than 5.3 million, a way higher cost than the city spent. In the tale of Portland Lose, first reported in the city on Monday, particularly instructive on how much it costs to build anything. We can't build anything in New York. Most construction projects, the city lumps to cost materials, cost of labor, and the cost of management altogether, making it harder to figure out what it all is. Whether you're New York or Seattle, the company that makes them, the Madden Fabrication, sells them for about $185,000 to $200,000 a piece. Times 5 is less than $1 million, meaning we're spending nearly $4.4 million on these little bathrooms here. How do we get $875,000 a piece just install a single toilet after the toilet's physical cost? I have no fucking idea. However, in Canada, these same bathrooms will cost $70,000. Um, in Sacramento, it costs around $200,000. So these are all localized problems, right? And so these are the portable bathrooms, right? Meanwhile, there is this entire this is really document. Hang on. Okay. So then do you see that bathroom, right? Then there's this bathroom. Let's see if we can get it. Where'd the sound go? Oh, there it is. Out here asking the real questions. All right, and now there's this bathroom. There we go. Oh. 275,000 for a bathroom that is of similar nature, size, and fancier for 275,000. Now that would be an appropriate cost, I think, for a large scale public bathroom. I think 250 to $300,000 is an appropriate cost for 5-6 toilets, 5-6 sinks, whatever, right? You can compare this to the same issues that we're having in the infrastructure side: bridges, trains, planes, roads. It's the same thing, boys. This is what happened with AAA gaming industry as well. I think similar. Yeah, I think similar. Instead of it being government, it's just massively corporation like ran, right? Massively corporation ran, and then with that massive corporation, right? They just drive up the fucking costs because well, we got to pay Susie at the front desk, and we have to go through. We have 7 different departments that this thing that's getting added to the game has to be approved of, da 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 da, right? And it's one of those things that's just like, oh, it's going to cost you more because you're adding more costs. So yeah, there you go. Government funded. Meanwhile, they're gonna get a ride home with SpaceX, privately funded. Just saying. Um, I just wanted you guys to see this article because I thought it was insanely crazy. Man who allegedly flew to Florida to attack gamer with a hammer after online dispute was charged with attempted murder. A man is in custody on attempt second-degree murder charges after allegedly attacking another person with a hammer. Edward Kang, who's 20, he flew from Newark, New Jersey to Jacksonville, Florida to confront an unnamed victim after a dispute through an online fantasy video game called Age. Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said in a news conference. He said, "This is a weird one. Some things make you say, You're not going to believe this. This case makes you say, fuck." Kang was able to enter the victim's home in Ferdinand Beach because the front door was unlocked, according to Leeper. Kang, wearing all black clothing, gloves, and a mask, attacked the victim with and the two ended up struggling on the ground, the sheriff said. The hammer allegedly used by Edward Kang in Nassau County Sheriff's Office. Deputies were called to the home by the victim's stepfather, who reported being awakened by his stepson's scream for help. He told the police he found his stepson on the ground struggling with Kang. The police found a significant amount of blood in the edge. Now, this part's not funny. Significant amount of blood in the entryway of the home and the victim's bedroom. Both Kang and the victim were taken to an area hospital. The victim sustained several head wounds, but they were not flight-threatening. And he said since the release of the hospital, Kang was released into custody of the Nassau County Sheriff's Office. We're not going to cover Dr. D. No. That's a bad person online, Leeper said, asked how much jail time he might serve for breaking and entering in the assault. And he said that, Mr. Kang, it's going to be a long time before you play video games again. Kang is not cooperating with the investigation and remains in the Nassau County Jail. Lieber said that the incident serves as a reminder that online altercations can spill over into the real world, and stressed people should exercise caution online, report suspicious behavior, and keep homes securely locked. Bro, you flew from Newark, New Jersey to Jacksonville, Florida because you got in a fight with some dude on Age, an online fantasy video game. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? The hammer? It looks like some knockoff brand. Are you serious? This is, yes, Eastrom, this is absolutely insane. Do you know how much rage you have to build up to go buy a flight? First of all, find out where the guy lives. The guy's probably like, "Bro, meet me here. I'm right. I live right here." But what kind of idiot gives their address? Whatever. He buys a ticket. He buys a ticket. He flies on the plane. He gets off the plane, gets an Uber or whatever, goes to a hardware store, picks up a hammer, mask, gloves. Several hours, maybe even days have passed by this point. You go and attack a dude with a hammer who lives on the other half of the country? This is why I keep that thing on me. You know what I mean? This is why I keep that thing on me. Okay. Holy hell. Where can I get that hammer transmog? I just thought this was wild because it was video game related. Bad news for my Forza friends. Forza Horizon 4 beats all-time player peak record after delisting announcement. That's right. It's a delisting announcement. Forza got into a little bit of an altercation, apparently. The gaming industry community has exhibited unprecedented enthusiasm, with players nearly lining up to dive into the game. With mere hours of the announcement, Forza 4 achieves an all-new player peak record on Steam, as you can see. Spotted on SteamDB, as soon as the news for Forza 4 getting delisted surfaced online, players instantly started hopping onto the game, probably to get as much out of the digital copy for the game eventually removed. Intriguingly, the number of players that arrived in the past 2 hours has broken Forza 4's all-time player record in 2021. At the time of writing, the game's all-new peak was set around 2 hours ago with 48,000 concurrent players, absolutely smashing the previous 40K. The surge in players clearly demonstrate the community's love for the title. Not only are the old players returning to the game, but the new ones are trying to figure it out before it disappears. Additionally, the fact that the game is offered at a whopping 80% discount on Steam helps their case too. At the same time, it's worth noting that the game will still be accessible through physical copies. However, in today's digital gaming era, the sudden disappearance of games raises the questions about the best approach for game preservation. Oof. So you will see that you will see Forza 4 leaving. And for my friends who are Frostpunk fans, great news that is terrible. It is being delayed until September. I think it was September. I think it was September, right? Delayed until September 22nd, 2024. They're going to postpone this release until September 20th, 2024. It was supposed to be out next month. So they're delaying it a month. Now, I don't know if that matters, but something's amiss. Something is amiss. So there's that. Just so we understand. What do you guys feel about the delays in games? Like, do you feel like these delays in games are needed? Hang on, my wife said something. I have to. My wife is having technical difficulties. Apparently, she can't get the internet to work for her. You'd rather have a delayed game than rushed garbage. I agree with that, Etram, in a solid standpoint. However, tell me what. Okay, so you're kind of a dev, right? In a month, what could you fix in a month? I mean, what I'm saying is you kind of do that kind of stuff, right? Right. Except you're just you're your own dev team. Quite a lot in a month, really. Usually it's polishing and bug fixes during the last month. Yeah, and that makes sense. Depends on the scale. I guess it does depend on the scale, right? It does depend on the scale. Well, this is a major game. This is a major game. Um it's dystopian builder. Frostpunk 1 was very, very popular. I had a ton of fun with Frostpunk 1 as well. Well, indie studios, yeah, they mostly have one shot releases, yeah. And the reason why I asked specifically, what can they do in a month? The reason why I say is because Frostpunk has been it's 11-bit studios, so it's a major studio. They have many games that they have released, including this War of Mine, which is a very good game. If you haven't played it, you probably should. Anomaly and The Invincible, which was their more recent release title. I think it was kind of badass. um, I guess they're not considered I guess they're technically still indie. I guess 11-bit still indie. Is indie considered? Let's see. Is oh it is 11-bit studio? Well, that's 22-bit. Is 11-bit studio considered? I guess they would be considered. Right? I mean, they have investors. It looks like. So I guess they're not. I guess they're public. I guess well, unless it's a private investment. I wonder if it's private investments. Here, where their website is falling apart. Their website's falling apart. Or maybe the internet is acting up because now I can't even get on this fucking page. Okay. All right. Best Polish game? I think they're a Scandinavian company. Does anybody know? Cricket World Cup, semi India, weather's good. I hope you have a great time watching the finals. Yeah, this is in Poland. Take care of yourself, Glenn. Yeah, it's Poland. I've never not liked their games, if I'm being honest. I've always really enjoyed their games. And so I ask, I get nervous when they say we just need a month. I get really nervous. And the reason why I say that is because I'm involved in other studios, smaller studios, obviously, where games are getting delayed a month. And I know what's being done in a month because I'm a tester. Right. And so, and obviously, I used to work for THQ. Right. Um, I know what's being done in a month. And it ain't that much. I feel like on maybe like as an individual, the individual work a person can do in a month is a lot, but groups in a month, it's a lot. There's a lot to do. And so a month, I mean, a month at THQ was like, I mean, let's put it this way. I'm going to bring it to construction because I think a lot of us can relate, right? So if it takes about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks to build a bathroom in a house, right? This is, of course, dependent upon how many people you got working and the supplies are already readily available. But typically, 2.5 to 3 weeks to make sure that it's done super clean, 100%, right? Everything's done, right? From paint, patching, drywall, or green board, whatever, right? Plumbing, you name it. A month in at like THQ is like a week in building the bathroom. You really don't get all that much done, at least at THQ. Now, THQ back then was much smaller than it was now, at least as far as I know. But man, I get so concerned when they say, we just need a month. We just need a month. We just need a month. I have to make sure because this internet is kind of being weird. Hang on, let me make sure that my wife's not having issues. Oh. If it was me, I thought it was just a 2-week job, I would delay it a month just cover my ass. Yeah. And that makes sense, right? And if that's what they're doing, then I'm okay with that, right? Like if they only needed like a week or two, but they're like, you know what, guys, we're just gonna push it out a month because you know, whatever, right? We don't wanna, get fucked, right? I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. But I have no idea. But I know from the early access review, it is having some. It had some serious fucking issues. It had some serious fucking issues. So, my friends who use Zyn. Okay, my friend who used Zyn. If you live in the States, you're gonna have issues finding Zyn. Now, I'm only saying that because I use Zyn to quit smoking. Okay. However, apparently, there's been a massive shortage in Zyn. It's an ultra high yield dividend stock that should benefit. Now, one of the reasons why is apparently they received a subpoena in the District of Columbia, aka Washington, D.C., related to flavored products that are banned there. So Philip Morris International now basically got subpoenaed by Congress, and they said, "Hey, you got a problem now." And so their online sales in the U.S. have been stock has been basically really, really slow. Now it's a Philip Morris brand, but it's ran through a subsidiary in Sweden. Okay, so I contacted my other friend, and I got another called Velo, which comes recommended from a friend of mine in Sweden as well. And we're gonna see how well these go. Senator Karen strikes, yes. Like I get the whole like wanting to ban like flavored nicotine products. I do. I get it, right? I understand it. And the reason why I say I understand is because look, I think it's weird that some of the vaping flavors were like kids flavors, like bubblegum blue or like cotton candy. I can see that. But banning a smoking cessation product that just also happens to be flavored, I don't know. I guess you have to pick your poison, right? Do you want people to have a safer alternative to smoking? Right? Do you want people to have a safer alternative for smoking? Or do you want them to just start smoking again? Because it's easier to get cigarettes now than it is for people to get a hold of flavored pouches. Okay, there must be a trick to opening this thing. It's apparently adult proof. There's a huge difference between coders. I can replace maybe 6 to 10 average coders when it comes to Unity dev. So a small team of 2-3 coders will wildly outperform entire companies in raw output. I could see that. I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, that checks out. Absolutely. I was pretty good with Python and C++, and I remember having to go toe to toe with a couple different groups, and I remember being wildly confused. Not bad. I remember being wildly confused as to why I was outputting significantly more lines of functional code. Like they beat me in like lines of code, but it's for my coders out there. You guys know, you usually should test your lines of code to see if you have any fails, right? My code would end up coming back with little or no lines failing. Meanwhile, this output is putting out this group is putting out like, double the amount of code, but also like 10 times the amount of line errors. And I think it's because you have people not following a similar syntax, because you have multiple people doing their own syntax, because everybody has their own syntax. Some people, double space things, and some people don't, and some people fucking, use either ors, and some people use alternate methods, right? And so I think they're just not keeping it together. Outer Worlds. Checks out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Can I just say, this may seem a little obtuse. This guy is obviously very old, but this guy's skin is like 29. Like he's got no fucking wrinkles. He hardly has any fucking like folding under his eyes. Right? You can see a little age here. But like, dude, I want to know what he uses. Just saying. God, he's got to moisturize. Ah, there was actually an article about that too. Yes, they take more risk. That was a good. That's a good little video, Eacham, and I appreciate you sending that over. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about, right? Um, I think what was in my specific example when me alone coding solo, I knew what I was doing, and I didn't have to ask anybody or coincide with someone or check what they were doing or check what someone else was doing. They didn't have to have meetings, right? Or I didn't have to have meetings. It was just me doing my lines of code. But when those four people that were coding for C++, a correspondent application that I was doing on Python, they had so many errors, and mine was done. My version via Python um, was done before they were done with their version on C++, and not because they all type like this. It was because they just had so much conflict in what they were trying to do, and I think that it took too long. And it's just there was what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Meanwhile, I'll just go. And I think what this guy brings up is a very good point. Is that the biggest slowdowns, and the reason why I think 11-bit Studio might need a month as opposed to a bug that should just be coded out in a few days, is because it has to go through a meeting, and it has to go through an approval process, and it has to go through this and that and the other. So again, I'm not mad that it's delayed a month. I'm excited for the game, um, but it's still this guy really hits it on the head. And you look at a game like Diablo 4, man, you can just look at those people and know. And Brow was kind of hitting it on the head as well. I think a little bit, at least a little bit. These people do not know how to act on their own accords. I really think that's the case. I really think these people do not know how to act on their own accords. I really think these people only know how to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. I like if you look at the GGG team, right? You got one guy that runs an entire section, and then he goes to Chris or he goes to Mark, and he says, "Hey, here it is." And they go, "Fuck, that's dope as fuck, dude. Good job, great job. Anything you want to change? Maybe fuck with this a little bit. All right, cool. I'll work on it. Here's the new product. Oh fuck, that's awesome, dude. I love it. GG." Right? Meanwhile, in Diablo 4, it's got to go to the department head, and then it's got to go to the section manager, and then it's got to go to one of the senior devs, and then it's got to go to it's got to go to what's his face, the president, whatever the fuck his name is, and then it's got to go to the investor board. Hey, here's our idea. Oh, we don't like it. Oh, okay, let's kick it down. And you guys start all over from fucking scratch. Because it's all about quarterly earnings, bro. It's all about quarterly earnings. Why do we put this in our game if it doesn't make it money? If it doesn't make us money? Well, because it's fun for the player. Fuck the player. We want to make money. And I think that's shit. I think that's shit. Gotta go to HR, make sure it's not racist. Seriously. It's also a culture thing. People are afraid of just building random features because it's a waste of time. It doesn't succeed. And I think that's what's like. I think it's fun, but this is me. Like I'll log in to City Skylines and just build something. It's a waste of it's a total waste of time, but I think it's fun. This city that I built that goes like 95 million feet in the air with like 37 people, yeah, it didn't really succeed, but I had fun doing it. And in that, I learned an experience, and that experience was how to do this or how to do that. I think people trying too often to just it's got to be perfect or it doesn't work is the problem. I think that's part of the failure in this system. Ellie is on sale today. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Do not say that. Are you serious right now? Okay, good. You were lying. Camera froze? No? That's a terrible idea. So it's at sale at noon? Oh no. It's on X? Bro, do you have any idea? Do you know why I'm concerned right now? Does anybody know why I'm concerned about that right now? Does anybody know why I'm concerned about this right now? Why would I be concerned about this? No. Because Mike has said that they don't plan on changing the price even after the release. They feel like that's the fair price. That has been something that they said before, that they don't plan on making this sale or putting this game on sale. Curious about. I I agree. I agree. I agree that I can understand why they're saying that they want the the traffic. But I think going against one of your staple points was that you're not going to put this game on sale. This is the fair price, and the people who have bought the game now aren't going to be paying, aren't going to be punished because they didn't wait for the game to go on sale. As of February, um, one of the moderators, as of March, the moderator said there are no planned sales anytime soon. Now, if you ask me, that was 3 months ago. I think this is going to chirp some people. All games go on sale unless it's Nintendo, or unless they say that they're not going to put it on sale. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about it going on sale. I'm just saying I know they have. I'm already calling the outcry. This is me calling the outcry early because they're like, you said this game wasn't going on sale when I bought it, and now it's on sale. As of March, another moderator is saying there is no public knowledge of any sales that are coming in the future. At the end of March, which was less than 2 months ago. What's up, Dusa? It's a yeah. I have a feeling there's going to be a little bit of an outcry. I have a feeling there's going to be a little bit of an outcry. Like I don't think me and you guys necessarily care because you guys want traffic to flow to last Epoch, right? But I do feel like there is going to be an outcry because yeah, as of April 16th, an official moderator on the LE Discord said there are no known public sales coming in the future. That was less than 2 months ago. Check that. EHG Mike made an announcement. Um, they're going to lift their sales hiatus. They're going to lift their sales hiatus sometime in the next few months. Um, there could be a Steam summer sale. Okay, so I take that back. They did say that. They did say that they could have a Steam summer sale. Okay, I feel better because I can reference people to that. I'll feel better because I already see the people bitching. Well, I was told this game wasn't gonna go on sale when I bought it, and now it's on sale, and they're gonna be like, blah, 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 blah. They don't even have voice channels on Discord. They don't. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I hardly see that channel. I honestly, the community Discord is it's pretty atrocious. It's pretty atrocious, if I'm being honest. Pretty atrocious. I like to hang out in either the CT or the creators one. The links. Oh fuck. Yeah, hang on. Hang on. Let me do this way. Let me do it this way because I don't know if that's gonna work. But let me do it this way. So I'm sending this to Brow. So this is basically Mike's take for the sale. And he says that you could also wait for a sale. It usually goes down by about that much when we do our sale hiatus was lifted a few months back ago. I generally don't know when the next one will be, but the Steam Summer Sale usually happens late June, early July, right? Next major patch is July 9th. So there you go. So Mike did say that they did pull back on their sales hiatus, and that way we know that there you go. That's where you can see it. Because I already know there's gonna be people that bitch, and it's gonna be another reason for them to want to slam a small indie dev team saying, you guys said it wasn't going to go on sale, which I remember as well. You had more hours on voice. I have never used voice in that Discord. I think I've written in that Discord a total of like 7 or 8 times to help people that were asking questions. And bro, the responses I got from helping people were like really weird, and I'm like, okay, we're done helping people in this channel. And I think at that point I wrote, if you need help, you can come visit my channel. I'll help you out if you need help. You just come to my channel. I'm not gonna sit here and do this. I'm not gonna sit here and have this discussion. Like people were actually making like active arguments about it. I was like, it was like a really like odd question. Oh no, check that. It wasn't even an odd question. Someone was asking something about crit, and they said if I get crit 50% spell crit, how come my spell crit is still only like at like 11%? And so that's when I tried to explain to them the math of crit being additive and multiplicative. And someone said that's not right. He's seeing a visual bug. And I was like, I don't think it's a visual bug. It's just multiplicative. And I did the math for them and I broke it down doing, how I do the math normally with you guys. And it equaled 11%. They're like, nah, it's a visual bug. He should be at 56 or 57%. I'm like, no. Okay. Okay. And so at that point, I realized, like, no one came to back me up. Not a single other creator or a single other person that was well versed in the game was like, oh no, EMP's right. Like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Like, everybody just avoided it like the plague. And no one told me that I should avoid that shit like the plague. Okay, no one told me. They're like, yeah, hey, when people ask about crit, don't answer it because it just leads to fucking like a black hole of like the rabbit hole abyss. Like, don't do that. It was terrible. And then I think another person asked, does crit work with spell crit? And of course, I didn't learn my lesson the first fucking time. And I said yes. I said if you have global crit, your critical chance, it does apply to spell crit, but spell crit doesn't apply to global crit. So if you get melee crit, spell crit, right? Those things don't work towards your global. If you get throwing crit, whatever, right? Those things don't work. Those are specific. But if you just get generic crit, that does work towards all crits. They're like, no, it's got to be for spell, or it's got to be for throwing, or it's got to be for whatever. You send the mic thing, yeah, that's good. Yeah, because people are going to find a reason to bitch at the team. People are going to find a reason to bitch at the team. They're going to say, "I was told it was, it was never going to go on sale." Well, I don't remember them saying never go on sale. I remember them saying something along the lines of, "We don't foresee a sale, in the near future." I remember them saying that, and so people are going to just live on that. And then when this thing goes on sale in 40 minutes, people are going to be like, "What the fuck? I want a refund. I want a refund. I want the price difference back." And unfortunately, it is going to cost them reviews. That's not going to change. And you know what? For shits and giggles, we're going to go ahead and look at the mostly positive reviews. Okay? And we're just going to screenshot this, boys. We're going to screenshot this. And we're going to I'm just going to set it to proud just because we're already talking. And then we're going to look at all reviews, and then we're going to see negative. Here we go. This is what we're going to screenshot. We're going to screenshot this number here. And then we're going to see how this transpires, and we're going to revisit this in a couple of days. And we're going to see how much that goes up or down. And I don't want it to, but I'm just a called shot here, boys. Just a called shot. You're going to see the positives go down. People might change their positive reviews. I'm just estimating. You're going to see some positive reviews go down and some negative reviews go up because people can obviously change their reviews. Okay? Just a called shot. I hope I'm wrong. I hope people are like, oh, it's on sale. This is dope. Let me get more of my friends in here. I hope that's what happened. I just think I know people better. And I think people are inherently idiots. What do you guys think will happen? Do you guys think people just wash over it and be like, nah, whatever, we don't care? A GeForce driver is available. Of course there is. Of course there is. Would check the comments on the X. Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. We're going to do that. 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 You know, people love being negative on Twitter or X. Let's see, do we have any yet? It's 3,600 views. Nothing yet, really. Wait, this is nothing. Wait, what? Yeah, it's just this guy. Wait. Let's do this. Repost quote. Great time to get in and have some fun. Post. There it is, boys. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope people aren't fucking negative about this, bro. Let this fucking small team fucking get some traffic, man. Because you're right. TLI, I get it. I get it. I get it. They gotta push numbers, man. You shared like 5 minutes ago. What's going on with the channel? We only got 3 people. Being like 0 traffic in the channel right now. Arsland. There's quite a few people playing that. Will you stream the crust? The fuck is the crust? Is that a game? The crust?
Cargo ship Alpha, requesting permission to dock. Access granted. The threat of survival always pushes humanity to conquer new frontiers.
Oh, fake wow.
Technically impossible, a reality.
The major space bureaus have joined forces to build the space elevator to transfer your production to the moon. Here, you'll be able to expand without earthly restriction. There are no restricted areas and emission quotas. Explore, fabricate, and trade. The logistics with Earth will be provided by Crust.
But as it turns out, the moon conceals a lot more than anyone could have imagined. Hey, what the hell? The bigger question still lingers. Will the moon be humanity's endpoint, or the beginning of a new path?
Interesting. I don't know if I'll stream it, but this is definitely a game I would likely play. I'll be honest, boys. I might cut the stream early here because we don't have anybody here. I don't know yet. There is no price listed yet. There is no price list yet. Coming soon. I'm assuming 39. This looks, with a small dev team like this, I'm assuming 39. 40. I'm assuming 40. It's summer sale. That's true. It's summer sale. That's true. Summer sale. Will I stream later? Probably. I probably won't come back. I probably won't come back tonight. It's just, it's so dead right now on the channel. Fuck. Fuck. Wait, how does World of Warships go with anime? I'm really fucking confused. How does this go with anime girls? I'm so confused right now. No, I don't play Elden Ring. I'm sadomasochistic, but I'm not sadomasochistic of myself. Collaboration with the anime owners to allow them to put anime girls on the side of ships. What the fuck? Are you serious? Are you trolling? Or are you being serious? Anything goes with anime girls. Can you put anime girls in Elden Ring? They did the same thing with Warhammer? What the fuck? Bro, people are so weird. Babe! D, come here real quick. I'm gonna see if she can connect the dots here. Oops. Okay. I need you to check this really quick. Hang on, boys.
What?
Come here.
What am I doing?
I need you to connect the dots for me.
I don't know how to connect dots.
Okay. So you see this right here? You know what these are? Okay, this is anime girls. Okay. Can you tell me where anime girls right here fit in with this? Can you connect the dots for me? No?
No.
See? I told you she's normal. That's all, babe. I just was trying to figure out if you could get it. I can't understand why anime girls are in World of Warships. They're telling me it's because you get to put anime girls on your side of your ship.
Side of your
Yeah, like, you know, like side of your ship. You know?
No, it makes no sense. Do better, guys. Do better.
Do better, guys. Do better, she says. I agree. Do better. I don't know why anime girls have to be fucking everywhere. Yes, poster girls. Yes, you talk about pinup girls. Yes, you're talking about. You're talking about like these, the pinup girls. Yeah. You're talking about like these kind of things. Yeah, I could see that. But I don't know what anime girls have to do with that. These were real life models for motivation, right? It was, you know, guys were always in war. They wanted to see pretty girls. They wanted to see pretty real women, and it was motivating. Pretty women motivated men in combat. Hate to tell you. Okay. All right. What the fuck does that have to do with anime girls? Are you telling me We're at a point in this fucking generation where anime girls are motivating to the men question mark in combat. Bro, if I was back where I was and I saw anime girls on like tanks and shit, I don't even know. Yeah, men are simple. Ooh, nice woman. Let's fight for her. Yeah, absolutely. This is anime. Ay, ay, ay. This fucking generation is so fucked. This generation is so fucked. Stop believing Steam? You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do. You need to get the X4 foundations? What do you mean I need to get the X4 foundation? What do you mean I get the X4 foundations? That looks like it's too much. Hero Siege, did they update Hero Siege? Why is it still mixed? It wasn't always mixed. It's gone. The review has gone down. Why did the review go down? It was mostly positive. It was mostly positive last week when I checked it. What happened? Wait, what? Your characters got deleted? Yeah, that's not good. Oh my god. Okay, that'll do it. 1,200 negatives. Oh fuck. Your old ones if you didn't log in before the update? What? Yo. Yikes. Here's a good story for you guys. You guys may see content creators playing Hero Siege right now. Do you guys know that Hero Siege spent a lot of money paying content creators to play it? He's playing it right now. Yep. The campaign already ended. That's why no one's playing it now. Because the campaign already ended. It was only a 2-day campaign. It was like a 2 or 3-day campaign. And that's why there's only 2 streamers that speak English that are currently playing it. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 streamers in the world playing it now. Yikes. Sag, but true. Sag. Yeah, boys, the stream's a little dead right now. My wife, I think, wants to do something with the kiddos, and I can't justify staying on, unfortunately. We'll try again tomorrow. Maybe we'll have some more luck. Tube. We'll try again tomorrow.